What's up, guys? Today I'm going to teach you how to do a one-footed Primo stand. Alright, so this is one of those tricks you can definitely learn while you're sitting down. So first you're going to find a seat about this tall, sit down, and practice getting into this. Alright, so the most important thing here is the foot position. So I got my back foot with most of the foot hanging off. I've got my arch positioned right on the rail of the board, the toe side rail, and my heel is over the bolts. And with my front foot, I've got just my big toe on the board. You could put the ball of your foot on the board, kind of at an angle like this. So what I'm doing here is I'm pushing down with my front foot as I'm pulling up with my back foot, and as soon as that happens, I take my front foot off and all my weight goes onto the ball of my foot. The ball of my foot is resting here on the wheel, and then my arch is kind of resting on the rail of the board. So you could even touch your foot to the ground at first, like this, and then lift it up, just to get used to that. Or you could put your foot on the front wheel if that's more comfortable at first. But really, when I'm pulling up, all my weight is going onto my back foot. My front foot is coming completely off. So it's okay to just kind of leave it off. So there's many ways to get out of this, but the easiest way to get out of this is just to push forward with both feet, jump a little bit, and then land on the board. So after you've done it sitting down, you could do it standing in the grass, something like that, or you could move to the concrete. So I don't really roll into this. I kind of like to do it with the nose in the back, because when I'm coming back on, sometimes my front foot will drift off of the board, and so it's nice to have like a longer, like curved up area in the front. I don't really need that in the back as much for this. See how I kind of need that nose just to land? Let's try it the other way. It's not bad that way, but I do feel a little more comfortable with the board backwards for some reason. So after you're comfortable doing this on the concrete, you can try to find different ways to get out of the Primo stall. Possibly a flip out. Or maybe you could jump into a Casper out of this. Oh, almost got it. Or maybe you could jump into a Casper out. So when I go into this Casper out, what I'm doing is I'm putting my back foot a little more towards the tail, towards the end of the board. As I take my front foot off, my toes are bending back and going straight and kicking the board right here. So my toe lifted up, hitting the board right in here, will cause the board to fall to the side. See that? And then all I'm doing is I'm swinging it this way and then lifting my toes up. After that, to get out of it, what I'm doing is swinging the board around this way, lifting my toes up and jumping. So I'm swinging this way, then a little flick up. So it's coming up and then lift up, comes around, you jump on. Another trick I like to do out of a Primo stall is stand up on the ball of your foot on the back wheel and kind of kick the board around. See if I can land one of these. It's easier on a wooden ramp, you know, something something that's slick. The grippier concrete ground is harder to do this on, but all I'm doing is putting my weight on my back foot and just kicking the board. You just have to be able to get your heel out of the way. I have kind of big feet, so it's a little bit hard to get it out of the way. It might be easier with the tail in the back on this one, because it might be a little more stable that way. But yeah, I'm just kind of giving it a kick. That time my toe was getting in the way. This concrete's a little uneven. I don't notice how uneven this concrete is until I'm trying to spin my board around Primo. So for me, it's easier not to get hung up with my foot on the nose if I'm using this side as opposed to this side, but it's harder to balance. It's less stable, but it does spin around better. It's when it gets about here, where it's only got about a quarter more of a turn, that it actually feels unstable for me. Right there in that hump. So the board I was on was a freestyle board, and it was a little bit easier to do on that board than on a regular skateboard. If you've just got a regular skateboard like this, you can still do it. It's gonna be a little harder. These wheels are smaller and the trucks aren't as high. The board's a lot wider. So it's just a little bit harder to get up in that position and keep. See how it's a little bit harder just to stand in this position on a regular skateboard? You just don't have as much of a platform for your feet. If you got bigger feet at all, it's just kind of hard to balance on there. I could imagine it would be extremely hard to actually spin the board around while standing on that wheel. Another thing with this board is the actual bolt sticks out farther than the wheel. On the freestyle board, the wheel sticks out farther than that bolt. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this kind of content, reviews, tutorials, and videos about what I'm learning as I grow as a skateboarder, then scroll through my channel. I've got a bunch of how-to videos like this, and hit that subscribe button because I've got a lot more videos to come. Thanks for watching.